because I don't really have a lot to say about it, okay? But it's a good question, and you see, one of the interesting things is that you don't have to be a practitioner to ask questions like this. You know, I went out today, and a lady taxi driver who knew that I was known as a spiritual teacher, as a guru, asked me, "Do you meditate?" And I said no, because what happened when I was 7 years old in Tibet made it totally unnecessary. The false idea of me being a separate individual self, the false idea of me existing as an individual dropped away. And this is what, of course, enlightenment is. It's when you lose this sense of I, this sense of me, this sense of myself, and all that falls away, and you understand and realize that what you are, and all that you are, and all that you've ever been is pure consciousness. Now, when you get to that understanding, why would you meditate? You are already there. And so what happened to me in India made it totally unnecessary for me to have to meditate, because I was there. So meditation and other practices, of course, help people to get there. In a way, they help people to get there. And that's easy to understand. If I say to you, look, there are many, many methods of meditation, and you can choose any one of them, and they will be beneficial. Now you will understand that. There's no question of that. Now, if I say to you, the whole point of enlightenment is to stop doing these things. So often I give people meditations and meditations and meditations until they come to the point where they can see they can stop, that they can do without them. You see, the whole point of enlightenment is that you stop doing things, not that you continue or increase doing things. You only do that when you are not enlightened. And so to gain enlightenment, you get to the point where you realize that all these things are unnecessary, that doing will not get you to enlightenment. Doing will always be a barrier. But in order to get to the point where you stop doing, you have to do it. For example, people ask me about reading books. For some people, I will tell them, throw away all your books, because reading books will end up in the frustration, and you will realize that all the books you read have not done you any good whatsoever. Now, if you come and tell me, well, that's wonderful because I've never read a book, then I'm going to tell you to read as many books as you possibly can, because you cannot understand that reading books is useless until you've actually read books. And so this is what I'm trying to say, that read enough books and you will come to the point of realization that they are of no use, and you will stop reading books. This is one of the ideas of dropping, of stopping, of not doing something. You stop reading books because you've read many books. If you haven't read many books, then read many books, and then stop reading many books. And so the same with all practices. You should do the practices until it completely wears you out. But the practices will not get you there. So what I'm saying is, I'm not telling you not to do the practices. I'm saying do the practices. Do the meditation until you're totally worn out, until the mind is absolutely worn out and it simply drops and you stop doing these things. So enlightenment is not doing, it is non-doing. It is stopping doing. But you cannot stop doing until you actually do it. So it's no point saying, Well, in that case, if you don't meditate because you don't need to, I won't meditate. Well, I'm afraid you do need to meditate. You do need to meditate a lot until you come to the point where you see that it's not actually getting you anywhere. You might enjoy doing it, and that's wonderful. Carry on doing it. You might enjoy doing it, but you will realise it is not getting you anywhere, and you will drop it. And then you will drop something else and something else until somewhere you are actually dropping this false sense of me, this false sense of who you are, this idea that you actually exist, this idea that you actually exist in a world. And so enlightenment is all about not doing something, about stopping doing what you've been doing.